Boys Without Names, Chapter 13. The day starts with a quick trip to the bathroom and work. Today, Thick Fingers gives me my own desk and tray of beads but makes me sit next to him so he can keep an eye on me. It also gives me a chance to watch him. His fingers are not as nimble as mine, so he's not as swift in picking up the beads with a blunt needle, but he's experienced and organized. He picks up a bead with his right hand, places it on the frame, and then presses it in with his left hand while he lifts up the another bead. He works fast. I try to copy him, but I find it too hard to do things with my left hand. Scar comes after we have been working for a while. Terror, terror, terror. The sound of the clock winding floats up. After a few minutes, Scar claps us down for tea. As I sip the weak liquid, I look around. The windows are closed, and so are the front and back doors. I wonder if Scar keeps them open during the day when we are upstairs. I must come down and check. Train quickly unless you want kanpati, he says. Kanpati sounds like some kind of punishment. Everyone gulped their tea as fast as he can before going back up again. After an hour or so, a song burst out. Scar must have turned on the TV downstairs. I can hear every word, but I try to follow the story, but that slows me down, so I concentrate on my work again. But it is hard to focus. I can't stop thinking about how I am going to escape. I decide and I need to go down and check out the doors and windows. Maybe one of the doors is open and I can bolt. As I stand up, I put my hands on my back and bend backwards. It feels good after being hunched over the desk for many hours. Thick Fingers point at me with his blunt needle. What are you doing? I have to pee. You can't just get up and wander out. You must ask for permission. Acha, may I go? His nostrils puff up. Sit down. I look around. Everyone has his head done, but I have to go. Start working now. If his needle was sharper, he would have stabbed me with it. My first thought is to sit back down, but if I want to escape, I must stand up to Thick Fingers. I think of the statue of Anna Saib Kodwal that I used to see in Matheran in the park across the Richie Rich Resort. In 1942, he fought in India's freedom fight against Britain. When the British army came to capture him, he hid in surrounding hilly jungles of Matheran. He never surrendered and was killed. I used to read his name and the plaque under his statue every time. I went to the main street in Matheran. If I have learned anything from his story, it is that I must not back down. I don't move. Didn't you hear me? Thick Finger asks. I will sit down after I go to bathroom, I say. The other kids have stopped working. The boy with fringy lashes lifts up his head, his fear-filled eyes. The rocking boy puts his wooden needle down, but he keeps on rocking. The grey-eyed one smirks as if he's enjoying this. The youngest one with the dimpled chin says, Yar, let him go. Don't wag your tongue and don't call me Yar. I'm not your friend. Dimpled Chin starts working again. He looks down and I can't see the dimple anymore. I shove my feet as if I might wet my shorts. Go, Thick Finger says, but get back right away. I cross the room as slowly as I can. Hurry up. I don't change my pace. I'm not going to be bullied by Scar, Chamcha, sidekick. I like how I have not allowed Thick Fingers to squash me. Oi, ladka, are you still in the bathroom? Scar shout above the noise of the TV. I am. Hurry up. I come out of the bathroom. The back door is locked from the outside. Scar must keep it permanently locked. The wooden shutters are open, but the windows are fitted with metal grills, so I can't climb out of there. I walk toward the ladder and glance at the front door. It is closed and locked. There's no hope of escape. Suddenly my mouth tastes like it filled with dust and my feet turn into mushy bajra porridge. Scar is watching the TV and eating. I don't know what it is, but the smells of onion and garlic fill the air. My mouth begins to water. My eyes fix on Scar. A large piece drops from his hand, hits the side of the wooden bench, and plops on the floor. His face twists when he sees me. Look what you did. You made my roti slip. Don't stare at me, he says. Pick up the piece and eat it, or else I will have a bellyache from your evil eyes. Before he changes his mind, I grab the onion and garlic stuffed roti. I know people always share their food, even with strangers when they are traveling together, like I shared with Cardman. It is polite, and sharing the food makes it better. It get blessed. I can't think Scar believes that, but maybe he feels I hold some kind of evil power, and just by looking at his food, I can make him drop it or make him sick. I smile at his superstition and turn to go. Stay and eat here. I don't have enough for everyone. I think of Rocking Boy, who held out his hand to steady me, and Dimple Chin, who tried to take my side with thick fingers. I wish I could share with them. Scar clears his throat. He's watching me as I stuff the piece in my mouth and chew the moist, salted pieces of onion filled my mouth. It reminds me of iced bajra roti stuffed with onion. I clamp the ladder slowly. By the time I am up, I am finished chewing. Thick fingers takes in big breath. I smell onions. Did you steal food? Even with a small nose, he can smell just fine. No, I am afraid he will check my pockets and find my flashlight. Boss gave me a piece of roti. I say as I sit down. Show me your hands. I open my sweaty palms. He looked at my shirts. Before he asks me to empty the pockets, I say onion breath and blow on him. His nose crinkles and pungent at the pungent smell. There is muffled laughter. Thick fingers look around, but everyone's head is bent. Enough, start working, he barks. I follow his order, but not before I glance at Dimple Chin and Rocking Boy. They don't look up. I went down with the hope of running away, and all I got was a piece of roti. There's no way to escape from here. I wonder if anyone has ever tried to flee. Maybe someone did, and that is why Scar keeps the door locked all the time. How did the other boys end up here? Where are their families? Do they get paid? I have questions. But who should I talk to? None of the boys is friendly, and they seem to mistrust each other. Thick Fingers is a leader, Chota boss, but I can't ask him anything. Dimpleton reminds me of Naren. Maybe that is why I feel like I know him. Night Chatterer with fringy eyelashes never looks up. He's shy or scared, or maybe both. I notice how precisely he presses each beat, how his shirt is tucked in evenly, and his hair is perfectly combed too. He must have a comb tucked in his pocket. I don't know anything about the grey-eyed boy, except he's a light sleeper. Rocking Boy is kind, and maybe he's the only one I can speak to. It is difficult to work in the silence. Time walks by on its hands, slowly and painfully. Fumes from the glue stick sting my eyes. Relief comes only when the nimble leaves flutter and the light wind swafts through the room, temporarily masking the sting. Scar pokes his hand from halfway up the ladder and motions for Thick Fingers to follow him. After they leave, I whisper to Rocking Boy, "What's your name?" He gives me a blank look that is filled with sadness before he lowers his gaze. I sigh. "You do have a name, don't you?" Rocking Boy looks in the direction of the ladder. He nods. "Tell me, or else I will call you Rocking Boy." Dimpleton giggles. I put a finger to my mouth. He whispers, "I like the Rocking Boy. I like the name Rocking Boy. Can I have it?" "You already have a nice name. I have named you Dimpleton. It is better than Rocking Boy." "It is for you because you are the only one with the dimple." Rocking Boy has not answered my question. I give him an encouraging smile. He stayed quiet. "Just call him Rocking Boy," Dimpleton says. The boy with grey eyes leans over and slaps Dimpleton. "You have the biggest mouth on this side of the moon." He's missing two front teeth, exposing his yellow gums. Since he's the last in line and closest to the ladder, I ask him, "Is someone coming up?" He stares at me. "What's your name?" I whisper. "No names," he hisses. "Here we are, Anamic, without names," I say. "You are so good at giving names. Why don't you give me one?" I think about it. He has stooped shoulders, grey eyes that are filled with anger, missing teeth, and yellow gums. "How about if I call you Grey Cloud, GC for short?" "Just never talk to me." "Sure, you have made a mistake in your pattern, but I will stay quiet." He picks up his frame. "Where?" The others snicker, including Night Chatterer. GC is mad. I can't tell because of the grey of his eyes. Get darker. I will tell Leader. He will complain to boss. Then you will be in trouble. "Why do you call him Leader instead of his name?" "You want me to name him too?" I asked. "Chote muh badi baat mat kar." "I may have a small mouth and talk big. What about you? Why are you afraid to talk to boss yourself? We will pay for this. Just wait and see." Rocking Boy starts tapping on his desk. I ignore him and tell GC, "Why should I worry? I have nothing anyone can take. I have been in your place, and one thing is pakka, you have something to pay it with. Until it is gone, you won't know you had it, and then it is too late." His lips tighten as if painful memory has pulled a string. It's not only what he says, but the sadness of his voice that shocks me. When Scar bangs the door shut and locks it, Thick Finger thumbs back up the ladder. He plops down between GC and me. GC lifts up his chin slightly and nods in my direction. He's subtle, but Thick Fingers turns towards me. I smile at him. Then I grin widely at GC to let him know I'm aware that he tries to pass. Thick Fingers a message about me. Thick Fingers look confused and GC look frustrated. "ती से ज़्यादा क्या किटाली गरम है?" GC finally says to Thick Fingers, "What does the new kettle is hotter than tea mean? Is he saying the new boy is behaving badly?" Rocking boy sits across from the thick fingers. He keep his face down, but nothing has escaped him. He taps his right fingers on the side of his wooden table. Maybe he's telling, be careful or danger. Maybe I pick up a frame and coat one side with a layer of glue. As I stick the bead on the frame, I think of how to trick thick fingers. One thing about him is that even though he's Scar's favorite, he's not the reddest chili, the smartest one of the bunch. He's like Naren when he plays cards. He gets excess kings and queens or low cards. He can't hide his joy or frustration. It is to my advantage that I can see right through thick fingers. It is past noon and Scar has not returned. When the clock strikes one, thick finger says, time to eat. I throw my head back and rotate it to get kings out. When I try to get up, thick fingers pushes me back down. You stay here. You don't get food today. Why? You know why. I don't. Rocking boy is standing on the ladder, so his head peeks above the floor like a little animal looking out of a hole. His concerned look reminds me of why. Night Chatter is frozen with terror. Dimplechin looks like from Think Fingers to GC to me. I gulp down my fear. What have I done? Think Finger glances at GC, who stands with his hands folded against his chest. When boss is not here, I rule, and I can do as I please. So you can punish me if you don't like the way I smile or the way I look, GC smirks, or the way you talk and the way you walk. I want to tell him to stay out of it, but I don't. If he can convince Thick Fingers to starve me without saying a word, he's more dangerous than I thought. I have already done and said enough to hurt myself. Are you stuck on the ladder? Move! Thick Fingers shout at Rocking Boy. Thick Fingers is the last one to leave. When he turns around to go down the ladder, he says, don't waste time, keep on working. This place is bad even without Thick Fingers, and GC pushing me to the ground and kicking me. Must somehow break them up. It won't help me get out of here, but at least I won't miss meals and be so weak that I can't escape when I get a chance. Bye. 3 in the afternoon, my bottom hurts. My stomach rumbles, often and pain fill my neck, shoulders, and arms. I need to get up and walk. There's no way I'm going to be stupid enough to ask for permission or argue with Thick Fingers to let me go to the bathroom. I did that before and had to pay for it. Before long, I must find a way to get up. What about Birbal do if he were in my place? But he was too smart to end up here. I go through some of Birbal's stories. When I remember the one I told Naren and Sita a few days ago, I realized that Birbal was asked to go to heaven. He had to die first. Die. But he fooled everyone. I must somehow trick these kids. A breeze picks up and I hear a muffled sound. Creech, 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 creech. One of the overgrown nimber branches must be rubbing against the roof of the wall. No one notices. It is there again as the wind blows from the west. Creech, 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 creech. GC looks around. What was that? He asks. Creech, 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 creech. This time it is louder. Rocky Boy stops rocking because he has heard the sound too. Listen, GC says to Thick Fingers. Thick Fingers look around. I don't hear anything. Not only is he slow to think, I guess he's hard of hearing too. The noise. Suddenly an idea blazes across my brain. If this works out right, I might even get some food. Like there's a big rat around here, I add. Thick Finger's eyes are ready to pop out of his face. I bend over my bead tray and pick up a yellow bead. Only our hands move. There is no sound in the room. I don't know. I thought I heard some screechy, scratchy noises, GC says. Come on. Wind, I pray. Creech, creech, creech. Night Chatter lifts up his fringy lashes and stares at the far corner. Dimplechin jumps up. His chin quivers with fear. I don't know. I don't want a rat to bite me. Thick Fingers point his stubby fingers to the floor. Come sit by me. There is no creech, 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 creech. Silence. Creech, 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 creech. Let me see where the noise is coming from, GC says. Be careful. My uncle got bitten by one and had to get shots, I say. GC face turns grey, the same color as his eyes. Creech, 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 creech. Now everyone except me is up. We would better go down, our brave leader, Thick Fingers says. GC is already climbing down the ladder when I stand up. It feels good to straighten up, move my legs, go down and use the bathroom. What should we do? Thick Fingers asks GC. I don't know, you are in charge. You should go up and check it out. Now Thick Fingers is not happy with GC. Yes, I'm in charge. I'm asking you to go, he says. GC is furious. Meri Billy mujhko meow. GC saying my own cat going against me. To thick fingers make me happy. I try to hide the smile sprouting at the corners of my mouth. GC catches me. Send the new boy. Thick fingers follows GC's suggestion and orders me. Go up and check it out. I don't mind doing that, but I am going to get something out of it first. I will go only if you promise some food, and I don't have to give anything. Then I won't do it. After a few minutes, I said, I guess boss will wonder why we have done so few frames. He won't be pleased. You want food? And what else? Thick fingers asked me. Promise not to complain to boss about any of us. If you do, I will tell him you are afraid of a rat. Acha, go now. I take 2 steps up, turn my face, and point to GC. I need help. Come with me. Panic fills GC's eyes. I can't. You go. Thick finger says to Rocking Boy. Rocking Boy hesitates. I extend my hand. Don't worry. Come with me. He follows me. Once we get upstairs, I put my finger on my lips. I whisper, there's no rat. It is just a tree branch rubbing against the building of the roof. How do you know? I take him to the window. Wait until there is wind and you will hear it. A breeze blows and sound is there again. Rocking Boy puts his hand on his mouth to stifle a chuckle. Will you tell on me? I ask just to be sure. He looks at me unblinking. Never. From his deep, steady gaze, I know he will keep his promise. I wonder if GC and thick fingers mocked and teased Rocking Boy. He has a frail body, soft features, and quiet eyes and make him look like an easy target. Maybe that is why he looked nervous. But how are we going to explain to them about the sound? He asked. I like the way he counts us together. Now Thick Fingers and GC are on one side and Rocking Boy and I are on the other. What does T se jada nahi ketli garam hai means? I ask him. It means you are smarter than you really are. He smirks and shakes his head. But you really are clever. Rocking Boy and I move frames around so it sounds like we are doing something. After a few minutes, we come down. We looked everywhere but didn't see a thing. I think it is just the branches rubbing against the building. It is safe to come up, but I need some food first. I tell Thick Fingers, you are telling the truth, right? GC asks. Why wouldn't we? We don't want to be bitten by a rat any more than you do. I turn to Thick Fingers, I'm hungry. We ate your share, all of you, only I did, but let me see if there's any food in here. Thick Fingers find a piece of stale roti on the plate. It is dry and brittle, yet food is food. Better to have some than none. They wait while I eat the roti and drink water from my tumbler. I am the first one to go back up. GC and Thick Fingers are the last one to come up. GC stands by the window and looks out to make sure I told the truth. When the wind gusts and there is a creech, 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 creech sound again, only then he settles down. When Scott returns, he claps us down. I am little afraid that Thick Fingers will complain about me, even though he promised not to, but he keeps his word. Today, Scott didn't have time to cook watery dal and rice, so each of us get 2 pieces of bread and lemon pickles. I like it better because the pickles are tangy and make the plain bread taste much better than it is. When I finish eating, I find myself licking my fingers. Dimplechin does the same. Whenever glances meet, he grins. Scar is watching us, but I don't care because 1,000 of his means look are worse than one smile from Dimplechin. Stay down, you filthy pig. Scar points to Dimplechin as we are ready to go back up. As I climbed up the ladder, I shuddered at the thought of Scar hitting Dimplechin simply because the little boy was happy for a split second and gave me a smile. When I hear Dimplechin yell, I flinch and bead flies off. Rocking Boy picks up the bead and presses it into my palm. I wait for Dimplechin. When he comes up, his cheeks are wet and he stares at the floor. The tops of his ears are bright red. I hate Scar even more than I did when he hit me. Dimplechin is so young. It is like Scar hitting Naren or Sita. Even Thick Fingers is upset about it because he keeps throwing pitiful glances at Dimplechin. I wish Thick Fingers had complained about me. Then Scar would have been mad at me and would have left Dimplechin alone. Maybe Scar had Dimplechin to make us all fear him more. And if he did, he was successful. The terror fills up the space between us. After Scar leaves, Thick Fingers tells me, you bring trouble to others, do your work, and never look and never smile at anyone else. But it was not my fault if Boss beat. Yes, it was. He points to the Dimplechin. He got punished because Boss thought you are his friend. It is fine if you want to create problems for yourself, but don't drag others with you. So you don't care if Boss hits me and starves me. No, why should I? Why should you care about him? I asked, pointed at Dimplechin. I am not. Thick Fingers fumbles. He looks puzzled and little scared. Others have stopped working and are waiting to hear him. I don't have to give you reason. Do as I tell you. I don't argue anymore. We work for a couple more hours, and all the time I wonder why Thickfinger is so protective of Dimplechin. Maybe they have worked together for a long time, and Thickfingers cares for Dimplechin, or he reminds Thickfingers of his own brother. Or maybe because Dimplechin is the youngest and it is hard to see him get punished. Whatever the reason, it doesn't matter. It has only been as easy to run away as I it has not been as easy to run away as I had thought when I first came here, so it is better if I keep to myself. The only way I can escape during the day is if Scar asks me to help him pack the frames. Then when he takes the boxes out, but before he locks the door, I can run away. For that to happen, Scar has to trust me. And I must not smile at Dimplechin or be friendly toward anyone. Then maybe Scar will trust me. I will be hard to it will be hard to do because I like Dimplechin and I hate Scar. But I have to imagine Scar is like my teacher is nice like my teacher at well.